Hugo says, if you had little money, what would you do in the fastest way possible to secure a decent SEO client on a retainer like a law firm or an auto shop? Have reviews to show for other clients, but not the best at sales. Um, well, I mean, not the best at sales. The only way you're going to get better at sales, Hugo, is to just do more of it. Unfortunately, that's the only way to get better at sales is to do more of it. Seriously. And so the only way to do more sales is to book more appointments. And the only way to book more appointments is to do more prospecting, marketing, and lead generation, right? So again, all back to what the first question was about: developing a consistent lead source to bring interested contacts into your atmosphere, right? Your environment, uh, into your pipeline, right? The only way, and then again, you generate leads first, and then you book the appointments, and then you get on sales calls. And the only way to book more sales calls, generate more leads, right? And the only way to get better at sales is to do more sales calls. So first generate the leads, then book more calls, right? More appointments, and then attempt more sales calls. And over time, you'll get better. That's the only way to get better. You can study books, videos, programs, etc., and that will help to speed your ability to get better at sales. But studying is not going to make you better. It can speed up your ability to improve. It can increase the speed with which you improve your sales, process, etc. But it's not going to make you better at sales. What makes you better at sales is practice, repetition, which means book more calls. So to get back to your question, if I had little money, what would I do? Well, I've talked about this in our mastermind. There's even public videos on our YouTube channel about how to do that. Number one, if you've got case studies, testimonials, and results that you've done for other companies that you can point to, then why not use that, right? So, for example, you can go target an area, for example, and find an area with low competition that you can go rank some assets for. You can do it with YouTube. It's getting harder because YouTube is making it a lot harder to create new accounts, but you could do stuff with like Peter Drew's Live Rank Sniper, where you could go out, or you can do it with Web 2.0 assets, but you can do it with YouTube and Web 2 assets. You could go out and find areas that you can rank for, even potentially longer tail terms, not stuff that isn't relevant or isn't important, but stuff that you could rank for. Again, Web 2s, YouTube videos, things like that that'll rank fairly quickly for lower competition type keywords. And then use that once they're ranking, compile kind of like a little case study out of that. You can create a single page landing page that just shows some of those results. And then you start doing outreach to companies that provide those services in that specific area and show them. And you can start doing email outreach. You can also follow it up with cold calls, etc., SMS text messages, all that kind of stuff. Know what the appropriate regulations are for that kind of cold outreach and everything. Again, we teach a lot of this stuff in the mastermind, but then you could go reach out to companies in that area and point to the results that are already there. Even if they're not results that are going to produce a lot of leads or anything like that, the point is you can show them, hey, look, I know how to get results for your products or services in your specific area. Let's have a talk, right? And then just point to that. And again, you can do that via cold outreach. So cold email, SMS, cold calling, etc. Right? So that's one way that you can do it is, again, just go rank something, and on the landing page where you show the results that are, if you do it on a landing page, you don't have to build a landing page. Don't overcomplicate shit. You could just draft an email and then just do straight up cold email where you don't even send them to a landing page. I'm not trying to overcomplicate things, guys. Don't overcomplicate this stuff. Just create some assets, get them ranked, create a scraped list of companies that provide those services in that specific area, and then you can approach them with, whether it's a landing page or just direct through email or whatever, and point it out to them. Like, hey, look, this is what we were able to do for your products or services in your area, or the products or services that you provide in the same area that you provide them. And look, here's some examples of other clients or other companies that we provided results for. So you can show case studies on that same landing page or in the message, however you get that message to them. And again, don't be overly salesy. I figured out that you don't have to be. You just show people what you can do, and then you say, look, let's have a conversation. If you're interested, let's have a talk. Don't try to be pushy about it or anything else. At least in the industries I work in, I don't have to be pushy anymore, right? You just, this is what we can do. If that seems like it would be valuable to you, let's have a talk. It's no hard sales tactics. It's just a conversation to see if it's a good fit to work together. That's it. And I say that, I swear to God, in my video emails, I say that all the time. Look, if this seems like something you're interested in, it could help your business, let's have a conversation. It's no hard sales tactics. It's just a conversation to see if it makes sense for us to work together. Either reply back to me via email, call me, text me, or complete the calendar. Book an appointment with me on my calendar below, because I usually send them to a landing page, and that's it. And if they're interested, they're with Tree Guys, they almost always either call or text. It's very rarely that I get an appointment booking through my calendar app and all of that with Tree Guys. So they just want to call or text, and then boom, get them on the phone, and we start to have a conversation with them. And through that conversation, what I call a discovery call, we identify what they need specifically, and then we offer them one of the products or services or packages that we have that would fit their needs, which is why I call the directory hybrid agency the directory hybrid agency, because depending on what that conversation, what I learned through that discovery process and that initial conversation, is I can identify what is most appropriate for them at that time. Is it doing full-on retainer-based SEO services where I'm building up their brand, or is it that they just need leads right now immediately, and so I might be able to just sell them leads, pay per lead, or revenue share, or even rank and rent, which again, if you've already developed some assets that are ranking in a particular area, you can use that as kind of an initial like offering. So again, it's the directory hybrid agency model is about being able to provide the contact, being able to monetize the contact in any which way through a either lead gen or retainer or both, hence the name hybrid, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I would do, is precisely what I've been teaching for the last few years. Another thing is build a directory, a niche specific directory, because then that is what we use specifically to do outreach to contractors and initiate conversation. And I could show you, like, I mean, recently we've really started ramping up our cold email outreach, and we're getting 3, 5, 6, 7 leads, inbound leads per day. Or when I say inbound leads, meaning we're doing outbound outreach, we're doing cold outreach, and then they reply back. But that when they reply back, that brings them into our funnel, and then we proceed with communicating with them via email, SMS, and even phone calls. And like I said, we're getting on average 3 to 5 responses per day right now from our cold outreach, just from the directory process alone. So that I'm just bringing that up because, again, back to you, if you don't have a lot of money, building a directory is inexpensive. It's just time consuming. But we have full SOPs for how to do it. Once you build a directory, then it's cold outreach. That, by the way, has been the hardest part is the email stuff. But I finally, just in the last 24 hours, I think I finally got this shit resolved for real. After months and months and months of trying to get the email stuff to work better. So I'm going to be talking about that in our mastermind over the next week or so, once we've proven out that the fix that I finally figured out really does work. It seems to be today. So we'll find out. But like I said, a director is a really good process for that, guys, because again, it's very inexpensive to build and manage. Other than time, but we have full SOPs for that. And then that becomes an asset that you first use for outbound prospecting, but eventually it brings inbound leads in, which is why I think it's such a powerful strategy. They're very inexpensive, and it's an asset that you build that has value for you, right? That was a good question.